today I went to the range and I shot our first 200 new brass, fire formed them. So now I'm back, and the first thing I normally do is clean my rifle. Okay, here we are going in with the bore scope. This is after 200 rounds. Yeah, chamber's got a little bit of mung in it. Whoa, there we go. Oh, compared to before, this was a brand new barrel. Wow, there is plenty of carbon ring buildup there. Yeah, well, we're gonna get rid of that. And here we go. This was all nice and shiny silver before. Look at that carbon buildup. That barrel is toast. I mean, not toast, but dirty. I will make it clean again. Look at that. Look at that carbon in the lands. Oh, yeah. Clean me, clean me. But this is a great cleaning rod bore guide. I will insert that. You've seen a million cleaning videos, but I want to show you how I do it and what works for me. I have used dozens of cleaners, seriously, dozens of them. Some are good, some are bad, some are good, but they take so long. So now I found something that really works great for me and is really easy. There are two parts to this. There's Thoro Flush and Thoro Clean. This stuff, I love it. It works great. Does me righteous. You run a couple of patches down your barrel first with that. And for a cleaning rod, I use a Vortex. And my guide that I was showing you before has this. This is very important to keep it straight. So I'm just using a regular jag, and I've got some patches already pre-soaked with this Thoro Flush, so I don't have to do it every time. So I'm just going to put a patch on and run down 2 or 3 patches. You slide this forward, this part, into the guide, and it keeps it nice and straight. Now this is not actually the cleaner, it's like a pre-cleaner. But let me show you something. This is just from running pre-cleaner through. So I'll run another 1 or 2 of those through. Here's the second one. All right, 1 more of those patches. Now, I'm going to change this out. I used to use brass brushes, plastic ones, and now I use these. These are great. These are the best. A bronze brush will not hurt your barrel if you're careful with it, but they just don't last. So now this is the magic. What I do is I just take this brush and I dip it down in there like that and get a good amount of it on there, okay? And I'll run it down all the way, pull it back, run it down all the way, pull it back, and now I'm going to start short stroking it. Say about 30 strokes or so. Do do about the first 6 to 12 inches of barrel, then go a little farther each time. Then I'll do a couple of full strokes. Then I'll go back and stroke it a little more. A couple of full strokes. And that's good. Take this out. Clean my rod. Clean that brush, which is definitely filthy. Now back to the Thoro flush. I'll run a couple patches of that down, and then I'll take another bore scope of it to show you after just doing one patch. Another patch of the flush. And then I'll run a couple of dry patches through. Then we'll take a video. Now, I'm going to change tips again. And these tips are friggin' awesome. I forget who makes them, but if it's not on my website, I'll put it on there. See how it has little O-rings on it? These O-rings really expand into the lands and grooves. And I just use a normal patch. It's a lot harder to push through because it's really getting in there. This has no point on it, so you have to manually hold the patch in front of your rod guide, center it out the best you can. I asked them about doing it, and they says people were complaining they were poking their fingers with the point. I says, well, maybe they shouldn't have a gun then. Yeah, we're still getting a lot of crap out. But I'm just going to run one more patch of this now, just so one more dry patch. Just so I can show you where we're at. We've done just one cycle of cleaning now. There's a lot of fluid still in the chamber area there. Look at all that. I haven't run a brush through there, but look how it's breaking all that stuff up to nothing. And we're getting shiny already. Our carbon ring is almost gone, but I haven't even worked on that. I'll show you how we'll do that. Much better. What I look for is that real bright reflection. Now as we're getting down the barrel, we're almost in brand new condition already. So hopefully maybe 2 cycles will do us. But I never try to get it back to new condition because I'll be here 6 or 7 cycles and it's not worth it. It has no effect. It doesn't mean anything. Get one of these if you're using a bore scope. Can't remember where I got it, but it's a bore scope guide. Really helps. We're going to wet her down now again with a couple batches of the Thoro Clean Flush. Now I'm going to take another one of the lasso brushes. Okay, in we go for session 2. I'm going to short stroke right in the beginning. Start going farther until I work my way all the way down the barrel, even though I know it's done there. Alright, now before pulling it, I got it right out now. It's probably at about the carbon ring. So I'm going to twist it around, give it a nice cleaning of that carbon ring. Okay, let's pull her out. This stuff does tend to turn black as it's added, so this isn't all carbon. But most of it is. So there was our first one. Here's our second one. Okay. Alright, now we have to flush it out again with the Thoro flush. Still with the flush. It's a flush, but I don't win any money. Now I'm going to put on my O-ring jag. Only this time, I'm going to run a couple patches that are soaked with the flush with this O-ring jag also, to really get deep down in there. It's tight. Now I'll just take this and turn this over, then I'll run a couple of dry ones through it, then we'll wipe the chamber out and get it all done like if we were ready to roll, and we'll see what it looks like. You know what can be deceiving sometimes too is your rod guide has got a lot of junk in it, and that can make you be thinking, hey, it ain't clean yet, and you got stuff coming from your rod guide. Oops. That's why I highly suggest having a borescope to get in there and see what's going on. And for that, I have this rod. Actually, this rod, it's a short 18-inch rod or something made by Vortec. This is for cleaning your bolt. There's a tip for it that it comes with. See this tip? You put a big patch on there and you put it in and you twist it around and where your bolt lugs go. Back and forth, scrub it out. We'll get to that, I'll show you. But I use this rod. I just put a regular mop on. Of course, now be careful with this. You all know you don't want to be jamming crap in there and not being careful. And I just put this in through my chamber area. Now you see how much crap came out of there. Let's take a look where we are now. All right, now we're into the chamber area, and it's much drier. So we got a little carbon ring. Carbon ring is stubborn. So I have a trick for that too. It's almost gone though. As far as carbon, we got a little there. See on the top? This was a new barrel. So that's why we got so much carbon in all these places now, because it was brand new. But we're going to get that out. We're going to give it another treatment. Okay, third and final treatment, because I know this will be all it needs. I just want to get better at that carbon ring. Carbon ring can really, really affect your accuracy and your velocity, because it's right at the end of where the bullet meets the neck of the case, and it causes pressure spikes. You really need to get that out of there. Full stroke. Work on that carbon ring a little bit. Short stroking it now, about going in 6 inches, then 12. Moving down a little farther. I know you can't see me, but full strokes. I just count on, when I got to clean my gun, I put an hour aside. That's about what it takes. And you have to do it. One of those things. Okay. Yummy. This is really handy to have them in a pre-soaked little thing. Something that's airtight, obviously. You got to put it in something that's airtight, or they'll just dry up. It's all just your common sense wisdom there. Now we're going to clean the chamber out again with my short rod. We want to take another look now. But this is a lot better than a lot of other stuff I've used. Oh yeah. Still got some stuff in there because I got to get the bigger mop in there. That carbon ring is cleaned up plenty good for me. That's just right down there where the cut is. Sharp edge. So carbon's going to fill that in and always be there. But this is plenty clean for me. I am done with that. And we're shining everywhere else. Now when you see in between there, they look like black carbon marks. What that is the shadow of this light getting down in the grooves. If I roll over it slowly, you'll see it turns silver. Of course, maybe I could turn the light up on this. And, oh, there we go. Now you see right there in about the center of the screen to the left of the light, that looks dark. That looks like that's carbon. It's not, but when I roll the light, see how it goes away? It's shadow from the light of this bore scope. That is not carbon. So we're nice and shiny now. Look on the right side, you know, the right corner going down the barrel, the lands in the grooves. They are completely clean. So this time it took 3 cleanings because it was a new barrel. It's all nice and sharp, not banged up. Always check your crown. If you got bangs in your crown or something, you got to recrown your barrel, because that will definitely throw off your bullet too, because You want your pressure coming out equally around that bullet, and if it isn't, it's going to push it off to one side or the other. Trust me, it does. Okay, so there we go. All right, how about cleaning the bolt? So the first thing I do is disassemble the bolt. Take a rag, wipe all the old grease off. You only lube your bolt on the back of the lugs, just a little on the sides, and then I put a little oil here too. I use Milcom grease, and I just take a brush and brush the face of the bolt clean. These are important maintenance steps that you must do. Then I have another little short rod, and I put this size mop, and I run it down the inside of my bolt, because I lube my spring every time too, so it flicks off of there with the action of the spring. As you can see, it's dirty. Then I take, with my bolt anyways, my bolt goes down like this to the pin as this rides in there. So I take a real thin stick Q-tip, run it down in there and get the rest of the mung out. There's a little on there, but not anymore. Then, very carefully, pipe cleaner. I take a pipe cleaner and very carefully insert it in my firing pinhole, run it back and forth a couple of times, that's it. That's done. The bolt, outside of the bolt, is now clean. Then I take the inside, the spring assembly. You don't have to disassemble this any farther unless you're having problems with your spring or something. And just wipe it down really good. Nice and clean. Get the old oil off. Take a Q-tip and get down in here because there is some grease that'll work its way through here. Just clean it up good. Alright, we're looking good. Now I take some of this Milcon TR 2500 oil in a brush because I find this is an easier way to apply it. And I just put a couple of drops on the end of the brush, and I work it into the spring. You don't want to overdo it because then you got oil slopping all over in there and it's not needed that much. That's that. Then I take my Milcom and I just put a little bit on the threads. You always want to have grease on your threads. You don't want to gall these threads. This syringe makes it easy, plus it's got a close off. You just turn it to close it off. So now we're going to take our tool, put it back on, pull our bolt out. Thread it in until it stops, and then you know a bolt, you just turn it back till it clicks into home. right there. And that is done. Bolt is clean and ready to go. Now I don't lube it now. I have this little kit that goes with me. I lube the bolt lugs and all that at the range. I don't want it getting all over the place. So that's it. Our bolt is clean. Thank you. In the next video will be about starting on prepping our fired brass now.